ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Xbox the Box, an Xbox podcast. My name is Potato Chief, and I'm with my good friend, Alice. Whichever way you are on the screen, I always forget. That way, right?
This is going to be a feature of every podcast. Yeah, you're pointing in the right way.
I got it this time. Yay. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of become I think if we have a t-shirt, it's going to say, and my good friend Alice. That's like my catchphrase, I think, now.
Yeah.
And we got a catchphrase. We got a podcast going. I like our new format as well, by the way. Very nice.
Yes, and that's what I need to say. That as per episode 35, we done some like changes, and I put more of my art efforts in. So now the overlay is more sticks to the theme better. It uses colors and information in the rightful places. And now, with the powers of OBS, that everything is possible. So what you're looking at is a new overlay. So I cannot guarantee that overlay is going to be sharp, especially I've got a slow connection and I don't have a ton of space on my Mac Mini. But I can assure you that... Sorry, I was in the rush, but I just done so much effort to make the overlay look so good, and it will make your eyes sing the joy. But I love it. If you have any concerns about it, let me know in the comments. And this goes for the levels, because for the first time, we are both recording on the podcast. We usually separate our audio files, which normally would have been good, but if this actually works, then it's a bit easier for me to do the podcast without having to do a lot of preparation, a lot of editing, just to make sure we get this podcast out.
Yeah, it's because we're recording this a day late because of the Xbox Developer Direct. So we wanted to try and think of a way of speeding up the process, because it does usually take us about 24 hours to get the podcast up. So if Alice is recording all of it, recording both sets of audio and the video, it should be up quicker, and we should have hopefully good quality. But if the audio is a bit off, that's why, because we're doing it a bit differently this week. We might stick to this format. It might be a bit easier this way. So yeah, we are doing this. You might not like. So usually we go at 5 p.m. GMT or BST, British Summer Time, Greenwich Mean Time, UK time, 5 p.m. on a Thursday. While we're recording this, it's already 6 o'clock on Thursday, so we've already missed our normal upload time. So it might be. I'm not sure what time this is going to go up. It's either tonight, or it's going to be Thursday night or Friday at 5 probably. I'm not sure. We haven't decided yet, but. That's why it's a bit late, because of this Developer Direct, which we're going to discuss in further detail in our topic of the show. We're going to also talk about games we've been playing and stuff, but I just wanted to have a little chat to begin with to get the podcast rolling. Alice just put up her Game of the Year video, which is, is a little bit late, but you've been ill, so it's understandable.
Yeah, I've been dealing with... Yeah, oh, thanks. But yeah,
I thought it was really good. I recommend watching it if you think it's very well edited. It's like 5 minutes and it's very well edited and paced, and you'll enjoy it. I really liked it anyway. I just thought I'd recommend it for you guys.
Yeah, I would like to add that. Yeah, I've not only been dealing with the illness, because I haven't had a cold for years. True story. Yeah, and I've also been suffering from mental health, and I also had to do more things with my family. So, so this is almost like a month later than your Game of the Year video.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the part 2 or the partner video of, because I put my video up at the end of last year. You've just put yours up, so that you can see the thumbnails are similar and everything. So we have different styles, which I like. We were discussing this earlier. I have like a off the cuff. Verbal diarrhea, just talking nonsense, going off on tangents, whereas yours is more like scripted and edited and is a lot more polished. It depends which way you like it. I like my way, you like your way. I think it's both have their merits.
So how do you usually like edit your videos? Like for your Game of the Year, for instance?
So what I normally do is I'll put the camera on, I'll have bullet points and I'll just basically just talk and try and get off all my bullet points, and then I'll edit out anything that's like too off topic or too or if I like pause, if I like lose my train of thought or anything, I'll cut that out. So I just I'm not following a script. I'm usually off a bit more following bullet points. So I'm trying to hit points as I go. I'm not very good at reading scripts. It's always been my issue when it comes to this kind of stuff. I'm more of an off the cuff, ranty kind of person.
Yeah, but so how do you like edit your video? Like you just put your webcam footage in, and then there's something else with it.
Yeah, I mean, I put like a bed music on the back, so like some music in the background, so you can just about hear it. So he's not deadly silent when in pauses and gaps. And then I'll have overlays, and I'll cut to stuff. If I say something funny in the video, I'll cut it and edit it and stuff like that. But it's usually, it's like I'm a bit more of I'm just editing and do whatever. It's like, oh, that's funny. I'll cut this, add this. And I'm not really super organized when it comes to my videos. I'm more of do it as it like I just get as it goes. I'll just edit it. I'll just try and get to the end. We both have different styles, and you can see that from our videos. Like you like to do like little cutaways and stuff, which I find funny as well. I think they're good.
Yeah, the thing is, mine is a bit more convoluted because when it comes to any video, as what many YouTubers do, like it works different for everyone. So, but usually they do scripts. So I do the script, write down my thoughts, and try to edit it to create its English, and then I read it out to do the recording for GarageBand. And I just realized you can do this effectively in OBS because you can just edit it in Final Cut Pro. So I did do that, prepare the voice file, and that's usually done in one night. Then I grabbed some gameplay footage for the Game of the Year, and I think it took one night. Then I edit the audio, cut out all the crap out, and make sure to keep it like really quick and simple. And then when I just export it, I put it in Final Cut Pro, like get some extra bits like overlay, and put the gameplay footage and a voice in. And then what I've been doing is I've been taking clips and everything, and it literally turned into a huge bed of all those clips and music, which I then fold into the video. So if you look at my my space for use for the video, it's only temporary, but you can definitely see all that clutter because if you look at things like Jim Precision, for instance, you see you see different images and different clips just to keep the pace up. You'll be surprised of how much images and videos you see in it. And most part of it is that you have to get music files with it. So I appreciate that you take a more simplistic approach because all that matters is getting your voice heard. But for me, I take it as a bit of more serious route and just try to decorate it so it just like runs great. But the disadvantage is that you have to be careful on how you source the material. You have to allocate space for it. And you just have to spend more time with it because when it comes to YouTube, as I recently found out for the video, that you don't really have a social life and you dedicate all those hours just to get the video right, get the levels correct, and make sure it looks as professional as it can be. Which is why, I was we're kind of hoping we'd do this podcast earlier, but as soon as we finished our reaction last night, I just did some clips and I felt, I just want to do this. So went back to the Game of the Year, grabbed the clips, get it all done, and uploaded it to YouTube because I got a slow internet connection. And this literally took me all the way to 3 a.m. I hope these are signs of a serious YouTuber. And if I get paid for it, then wicked. Wicked.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing YouTube for about 10 years now. This is a newish channel. If you're like, what do you mean 10 years? This channel's only a couple months old. It's like, this is a new channel. I have the Potato Chief channel, Potato Pro Wrestling, which I've been doing for about 10 years now. I feel like it's important that you find your own style. Everyone has their own style on YouTube. Not everyone's going to make the same type of videos. I have my style, you have your style. I think it's great that you have your own style, because what would upset me is if you basically did the exact same videos I did in exactly the same way as I did. It's like, well, originality there. I like the way you do your videos. I think it's nice and polished, and it's your style, and I think it's important to do that. If anyone wants to start doing YouTube, I would recommend just start doing it, and you will find your style eventually, and something will click. If you're the type of videos you like to make, and you think you watch it back, you're like, oh, I like how I've done that. So, yeah. So if you're not interested in YouTube, this is a bit off topic.
Yeah, that's all right. This is really useful because people are listening to this podcast on YouTube. But I once met someone who's been making videos and talking about her experiences, and I was asked for advice on what's the best way to do it, and I'm simply told just to press record. So that's sometimes all you ever need, which is why you have someone filming themselves in their bedrooms and nothing else. It's only if you want to put images and also the music in, you can do that. It just depends how much time you're willing to spend on it. But what the good thing is that all you ever need is to get a mobile phone, and if you can afford it, get a decent microphone. Because these two are all you need, so you don't need to get any studio equipment to do your vids. True.
You can get a cheap green screen. This cost me like a tenner, so as well. It's just a pop-up green screen. As you said, just do it. If you want to do YouTube, just get into it. Just do it. It's fun. I really enjoy doing it, and it's something I've been doing. As I said, been doing it for 10 years. I've changed my style throughout the years, and I think I quite like the way I do stuff now. But it's just fun, really, and it's like I recommend anyone get into YouTube. But as you said earlier, it can be time consuming. When I have done edited videos like you've done before and spent hours and hours and hours on videos, and then they get no views, and then I'll do a video where I'm just going, oh, look at, and then I'll get 49 fans. It's huge. It's like, oh, that seems a bit so that's why it can be a bit frustrating. So it's not always what that's what I'm trying to encourage people to watch your Game of the Year video, because you did put a lot of time and effort into it, and it is a really good video, and it's not just a video that I could just poop out in 2 seconds. There's some videos where you can literally just go I'll just record myself for 2 seconds and then that's it. So I recommend watching it. It's a fun video. We also released our reactions to the Xbox Developer Direct as well today, because it's been a busy day for the channel. There's going to be a lot of videos up to watch and a bit overkill. Well, to be honest,
bear in mind that there was this game that is known as Hi-Fi Rush that's in the video, and we'll get into it soon. But what have you been playing that's been left on it? Silly me, because we were talking some off-topic stuff at first. But it's already been going on for 13 minutes. But in the reaction, it's just we discussed about 5 games, and one of them is Hi-Fi Rush, and apparently it just is released about an hour after the direct. Oh, cool, we can check it out. But what I've been doing instead is I've been doing video editing, and by the time I finished, I didn't have any time for it. Next day,
that's fair.
Sort the videos out, get the YouTube short, and get some extra bits in it, and I still didn't have enough time to do Hi-Fi Rush. Video editing or YouTubing is a serious job. Granted.
Oh yeah. It's a time-consuming job as well. And we don't get paid for this. We just do it for fun. So if you want to give us money, that'd be great. But we just do it for fun, and that's cool. So I mean, you're gonna hopefully record. I don't know. We discussed this yesterday. I'm not sure if you're still gonna do it. Are you gonna record the intro of Hi-Fi Rush for people who haven't got access to an Xbox? Or?
Yes, that's still on the cards, and I'm hoping to get around to it. Also, if I like do like the first 10 minutes of it, like, is it going to be without commentary or with commentary? Because if we're doing commentary, then we could talk over it as we go through it. But then, I don't know. It's just the gameplay matters, so we have to see about it. What do you think?
I would do commentary over it because anyone could just record the footage. You know, your commentary makes it unique and makes it your own video, personally. So I think it's better off having a little bit of commentary to the intro, just to, you know.
I would say we do the commentary once I recorded the video, because I think that's usually how it works. But anyway, so
should we go on to what we've been playing? Our usual first subject of the day. So what have we been playing? So I have been playing Hi-Fi Rush, but we're going to talk about that later on in the show. I'll also be playing Vampire Survivors because, of course, I have. Whenever I'm not playing that game has took over my life. But I'll also be playing Fire Emblem Engage, which I'm really into at the moment. I think it's really cool. It's anime chess. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Have you played? Are you a Fire Emblem fan at all, or?
I only played a few moments of it once. I got the Fire Emblem Awakening on the DS, but haven't got round to completing it. So I just don't. I'm gonna end up struggling to play any Fire Emblem game. But for you, it's just easy enough.
That's fair. Yeah, I loved Three Houses. It was my game of the year for 2017, I think it came out. It was my game of the year. I was Golden Deer all the way. It's like they have like a Hogwarts kind of feel to it. You had Golden Deer, Black Eagle, and Blue Lion, I think it is, which are like the three houses, hence the name Three Houses. And I was Golden Deer all the way, and I loved it. And then you have basically three different stories, whereas this one, they've not got any of that. It's one story. But you have the emblem rings, which are like old Fire Emblem characters as like spirits that you can use as like extra powers. It's weird. But I think I prefer Three Houses, even though it's an older game. But I think the Engage looks nicer. If you're not interested in anything of like the romance or like relationship building or anything, I think Fire Emblem Engage would be more your thing. But if you like the daily like high school Harry Potter type thing, and you like having different divergent stories, I think you prefer Three Houses personally. So I personally prefer Three Houses, but I am really enjoying Engage for what it is. I'm gonna go back to it at some point when I beat Hi-Fi Rush, because I've dropped it to go play Hi-Fi Rush now. But it's really fun, Fire Emblem. I always like Fire Emblem. It's, as I said, it's anime chess. You have like an anime cutscene, and then you got to do chess with these characters. It's all anime characters. It's very anime, and it's fun.
So what else have you been playing then?
So it's that Vampire Survivors, which is, I finally figured out how to survive the Grim Reaper for more than 10 seconds, so that's cool. The Grim Reaper is a nightmare in that game. He just kills you straight away. It's like instant kill usually. I've got like a load of achievements in it. I still haven't maxed it yet. I'm trying to max it before the end of the year. That's like my goal. I still love that game. I've tried it. I've figured out what all the combinations of items are to unlock the higher levels. So I've been trying to unlock every single weapon, and I still haven't done that yet. And I've still got a couple of characters I need to get to like level 50 before I can unlock more achievements. So yeah, fun game. Have you been playing anything this week, Alice?
Yes, I did a little bit, but not so much. But what I've been playing this week is I've gone a bit retro. I bought the Sega Mega Drive Classics, which has been discounted to about £6.
Not bad.
It's a compilation of like about 30 Mega Drive titles that it used to be in packs on Steam, but it's now been like upgraded into the package, which it has this 3D environment presented as a menu, and then but then the whole purpose is that you play the games on it. The only difference is you have achievements and challenges with it, as well as some leaderboards. But It's not really the best, and I prefer the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, which is known as either the Sega Mega Drive, Ultimate Sega Mega Drive Collection or some sort, or Sonic's Genesis Collection, because these ones is great. The problem is the emulator on both of these are like not so perfect, but so far I'm like getting into the games and playing the challenges, so it's really good. Unfortunately, I did not have the time to try Hi-Fi Rush, which is it's only been on, and I was busy last night, so I haven't had enough time to do that. But when I do that, I will then give it a go and give it some gameplay footage of it. So I've just been forgetting about what else I've been got. What were you saying?
No, I was going to say, so would you like me to discuss, should we do our Hi-Fi Rush discussion like now, or should we leave that to later on in the show?
Leave that later on, because this is part of Microsoft Direct, Developer Direct, I think.
That's fair.
But
that's fair.
I've also been playing, obviously, the 2 games for the Game of the Year, and you can guess what they are. If you don't, watch my Game of the Year video, please.
Yeah. I'm not going to spoil it. I think it's an interesting video, and it's like, I mean, you kind of teased it there. You have 2 Game of the Years. It's kind of cheating a little bit there, but
I think that's all right.
That's all good. That's fine. I'm just messing. It's fine. It's all good. It's really well done. It's really intriguing. I really enjoy it.
Anyway, so as part of I've almost forgot that on Sega Mega Drive Classics, there's one game that plays like Fire Emblem, except it's by Sega.
Ooh.
Do you know what it is?
Ooh. No, I don't know. What's it say?
I played a bit of Shining Force. Ooh. It's like Fire Emblem, only you're playing on a Sega. It uses like Disney-like graphics or some sort, but I played this challenge where you're supposed to go through the first map in the game without losing more than one team member, which I failed. Yeah. But it's just really annoying. But I have completed Shining Force 2 before, and I actually love the music and all the visuals of it, so it's just really good. Yeah. But it's made possible. Does it have
permadeath?
Sorry?
Does it have permadeath like Fire Emblem? You're saying about not letting them die? Okay. I should put permadeath on, because I play the game. If any of my characters die, I always reverse time and save them. But I don't have permadeath on, so it doesn't matter. They'll be fine but I'm like, but I don't want you to die, even though you're only going to be dead for 10 minutes. So I don't know.
You see,
I don't know.
One, this is a very old game, so they don't go into such complexities like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about XCOM levels of death.
Yeah.
And also, when someone gets defeated, you have to revive them at the church. And this kind of game, there's some parts of gameplay that eventually carried over into Golden Sun, because all of the elements, it just ends up in it. Ooh. But only it's a turn-based RPG instead of a turn-based strategy.
Sounds fun. I have to try this out. So Shining Force.
Shining Force. You have to get
Mega Drive game.
Yeah, I don't know if it's been discounted anymore, but if you get Sega Mega Drive Classics, you can play it. You can also get it on PC or the PlayStation. So definitely check this out.
I'll definitely try it. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Anyway, there's another game I've been playing, and let's see. Oh, hang on.
Do tell.
I think I'm just trying to pick up the official website of it, but what I have been playing is what it's known as Vengeful Guardian Moonrider. So if I can get this work, okay, cool. So basically, the Vengeful Guardian Moonrider is a retro, it's more like a retro game. You think this is like Metroidvania, but it's actually like I don't know if this is the best gameplay, but it just but when you see the actual game of it, it just involves where it has shinobi like elements where it's based on Mega Man and the Shinobi games on the Mega Drive, where you just control this armored hero who goes around doing swipes and block out bullets, and it's just where you have so much fun, like going through enemies, killing with lots of gore. I only played like a first level, but there's some more exciting levels, and I think I really need you to check them out. But the only problem with it is that it does not come out on Xbox, not yet. Blazing Chrome, which is the Joy Masher's other title, is also on like Xbox. So, meanwhile, they could arrive on the Xbox. But at the moment, it only comes out on the PlayStation 5, Switch, and PC, as well as PlayStation 4. So, but if you get any of those platforms and you like retro games, then you should definitely check it out.
That's good. I'll definitely try that for sure. I love me some retro games. I haven't really been playing much retro games recently, but that's always a fun thing to do. Play some retro stuff. Mega Man, like Mega Man 2 and Mega Man X are like two of my favorite games. I love them. And I love Shovel Knight, even though it has a retro throwback. So it's like that sounds rad. I'll definitely have to try that for sure. Add them to the list of backlog that's like over like 2,000 odd games I gotta play still. It's ridiculous. My backlog is insane. I need to go back and look through that at some point. So I mean, is that all we've been playing? I have a couple of bits of news. I didn't write it down, but I'm just going off the top of my so usually we have notes for this podcast. I have 0 notes today. I'm literally doing everything off the cuff, off the top of my head. So there is 2 news stories I want to mention.
Yeah, so it's only 2 news stories. That's fine, because you're not going to be able to predict what's coming up from me. Ooh. So I hope you don't mind that.
That sounds pretty evil. Well, they're not really news story. I was just going to mention the fact that Game Pass, we have obviously we just had Wi-Fi. I was saying Wi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush has just dropped on Game Pass, but also Goldeneye is coming to GameSs.
Yes, it's happening. It's happening.
Finally, and Age of Empires 2 is also coming to Game Pass at the end of the month. So that basically those are 2 news stories, not really 2 announcements. We got. Are you excited for those? I'm really excited to play.
I think this is going to be great.
Age of Empires. If the achievements are easy on GoldenEye, I'll probably try and go through the story and try and get all the achievements.
I don't care. I want to complete the game. It's so good, because I remember this coming out on the Nintendo 64, and I didn't play it when it was around the launch. I only almost had a Nintendo 64 back in like 1988, and chances are I might get Banjo-Kazooie instead. But then I only got it in 2000. I haven't checked out GoldenEye, but about 10 years ago, because I was like getting a Christmas present, I was like, oh, I found GoldenEye, played it, and I thought, wow, it's so good. So once I gifted it to someone, I don't know what happened to it now, but now I just got myself a copy of GoldenEye, and it's like, wow, this game is just really brilliant. The controls are like a bit awkward. Like if you used to Call of Duty, for instance, then you may find the controls in GoldenEye to be a bit weird. So I don't know how that's going to translate to Xbox.
Well, they did say there's going to be alternative controller schemes for the game when it comes out. So I'm hoping they're going to have like a modern control option, which is totally what I would go for. And it's going to be widescreen, and it's going to be HD as well. So it's going to have like all the nice features on it. So hopefully it'll be fun to play. I'm looking forward to it. Everything's going to look blocky, but it's going to be super HD blocky. Like flat face, like picture, like big square head, like polygons, but like really high definition.
It just reminds me, because originally for Perfect Dark, people would attach a Game Boy camera to the transfer pack so they can take a snapshot of their faces and put it on the multiplayer model. Too bad it got canned, really.
Yeah, it's a shame. They did that in Rainbow Six Vegas, I think they did that as well, the face cam thing.
You just remind me of Achievement Hunters.
That's the one I know it from, with Gavin's face on there is hilarious from Achievement Hunter. Back in the day.
It looks like he had clean foam over his face.
It's so funny. Recommend watching that if you ever get around to it. That was.
Anyway, what else I can add is according to this news article piece, there's a problem that the pause menu has this iconic theme associated with it. Apparently, it sounds different on the Nintendo Switch instead of the Nintendo 64. So I'm not able to play this on the podcast because we don't want to have this habit of playing music on it. But I tried to share a link to the news and give you like differences and comparisons, because apparently they changed the instruments around, so the pause menu does not sound really as authentic as original.
All right, fair enough. Are you interested in Age of Empires 2? I think I'm going to definitely give it a try.
I've played it when I was like a teenager, and that's when my dad bought it. So I think, wow, it's really interesting. It's quite fun. It's got some really good 2D graphics, so it's just like really, really nice.
They've optimized it for controllers, air quote. I don't know what that means. I'm really curious to see how they figured out a control scheme for this thing on a controller.
That might be worth
Command & Conquer.
Might be worth doing it, but this is certainly a retro games month, isn't it? Because Age of Empires just came out like over 2 decades ago. Now, I haven't actually finished about the Goldeneye because apparently someone spotted out on Nintendo America's website, and they shared the music of the Q Watch. And then Graham Northgate said, "Missing some sounds there, guys. I hope this isn't a final version." And he tagged Grant Kirkhope, which I believe he's the composer of the Goldeneye. And then he responded saying, "It's so bizarre that the Goldeneye pause music has developed a life of its own, something that took me 20 minutes to write, and I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Constantly on the phone to Morgan's because I'd broken something or I couldn't understand what was going on." And then there's a TikTok meme too. So, but yeah, the original developers, or actually more specifically, the original composer, is just like not happy of how this turns out. So it's just going to be a bit of a mess. But at the same time, I just hope this version delivers and it's great. Although I imagine that developers of the original are probably going to nitpick on some areas of it that's not going to be great. So, but at the same time, I don't know if the players are going to be liking what's being handled, but we'll just have to see when it comes out really, really soon.
Yeah. Also, the people are a bit pissed off because the Nintendo Switch version has online multiplayer and Xbox One doesn't.
That sucks.
But it's because the online... It's because the way the emulator works on the Nintendo Switch. It's not really online multiplayer. You're playing split screen, but over the internet. So you're still playing split screen. So you're playing split screen with each other, but over the internet. Whereas it doesn't do that on the Xbox. So that's how it works. So basically, you're still playing the same game, but you're playing it over the internet. Like if you've played Mario or anything on the Nintendo Switch Online, that's how it works. It's like essentially you're both playing the same game but over the internet. So it's going to be like that basically. So it's not quite proper online multiplayer, but it's more than you could do on the Xbox. Unfortunately, it's only local on Xbox, which is a shame. But that's the experience. Like that's the experience people grew up with. If you want to play split screen GoldenEye, you have the opportunity to do that. I have a feeling this is going to be a game that a lot of people are just going to play for 10 minutes, say, "Oh, that was fun," and then not go back to it ever again, honestly.
Ouch!
To be honest.
What in the nostalgia? Oof.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's what's going to happen, but I'm going to try it. So if the achievements are easy on it, I'll try and max it. I think that'll be a fun thing to do, to be honest. But yeah, lots to play on Xbox. We are spoiled as Game Pass users. We got GoldenEye, Age of Empires 2, Hi-Fi Rush. Then we have Personas and Monster Hunter. We have so much to play. It's a lot of choice. It's lovely. It's a lovely time to be a gamer.
I think this is also Newsweek because at the moment, last week we've been dealing with the issues with the Halo. We spoke about it last week, and I don't think it's been talked about in the last podcast episode.
So we talked about the fire-ins of 10,000 people, but then we made a follow-up video on the channel about 343 specifically, where we talked about them firing a lot of people for 343, and 343 looked like they were going to get kicked off the Halo franchise, but then it came out afterwards that they're still doing Halo, so that's good, I guess. I think.
So if I can bring this up, if
you want to update everyone, that's fine. We could do that. We could do a little bit of an update.
Yeah. So apparently, Halo Infinite. What I have on the screen is that 343's statement runs against deep cuts in Halo development team, according to IGN. I just struggled to find a news piece, but apparently, at first we thought there's some leaked reports to say that 343 Industries is no longer like. I mean, this is in addition to the talk there. See, there's a video on there, so we can like share that. But oh my gosh, we've got so much stuff to go through. But yeah, anyway. We were talking about how the Microsoft has laid off a bunch of staff, and there's some concerns that Halo franchise as a whole could be under danger. And then I made a short to say that, there's a leak report saying 343 Industries is not working on Halo, and initially thought this is not going to turn out well, meaning the Halo franchise is going to be dead. Then, according to Mint Blitz, He did not brought up about this and waited for the days until the statement comes out, and then expresses in the video that it always pays to wait days before this leaked report has brought to fruition, because there's a statement which is passed on by the Halo Twitter account. It says here by Pierre Hinsey, said, "Halo and the Master Chief are here to stay. 343 Industries will continue to develop Halo and in the future, including epic stories, multiplayer, and more of what makes Halo great." Meaning, 343 Industries is still working on it. So what would you say about that?
I mean, we've pretty much discussed this in tandem. So, 343 have not done the best job with Halo, to be honest. I feel like Halo Infinite is the best game they've made, but it's still not as good as any of the Bungie games, to be perfectly honest. Are they getting the short end of the stick? Because they've been news articles and stuff coming out saying that they're being not given the proper support they need to do stuff. Is that possibly it? I mean, it's confusing and baffling. I feel like, of all the series on Xbox, Halo should be the one that has the most money behind it, the most support. Have we need to add a certain feature. Okay, let's add another 10 people to the team. Why not? I feel like this should be the game that Xbox puts all their money into, right? And backs it. But it seems like they kind of they're having temporary staff, and they're cutting staff again. And they keep changing leadership, and doesn't seem to be much organization. I mean, we don't really know what's going on inside the building, so it's a bit confusing. Do I want 343 to keep making it? I guess, because they feel like they're starting to get the hang of it, but I feel like they need some support. I think they seem to be a bit.
I need to chip in though, because
go ahead. I'm rambling. Go ahead.
I know, but. I know it's good that the 343 Industries is still hanging on to Halo, but I don't think this statement's enough to clarify that, is Halo Infinite is going to be safe? At the moment, it seems as if they're still working on it and looking to release more seasons, but I don't think it guarantees, whether there's going to be a battle royale, which I could see it happening, but I don't know if it means we could get story DLC. Because the way I see it is that their budget may have been reduced, and they're going to have struggles there. Because according to one of the senior developers there, he complains that there's some leadership issues that affected the product, which means it's not very promising. So the way I see it is that as much as it's good to know that 343 Industries is still hanging on with Halo Infinite, I don't expect a good future for them. So, so what I see is like, as I read it on the Hit Hard, IGN has to learn that significant cuts are being made to 343's Halo development team. One former 343 employee impacted by the layoffs estimated about a quarter of 343's staff was impacted, although that's not a firm statistic. We also learned that around 30 people were let go for 343's art department alone, with former employees saying 343 Industries was hit hard with positions impacted across all disciplines.
Yeah, that's not good. I don't really. It's a. We'll have to wait and see it. I mean, it's the battle royale mode still coming, like the one that's being made by Certain Affinity. Is the story? And I mean, like this looks like the story campaign is going to be cancelled. The endless, which was I don't really know. It's confusing.
Well, I think this is going to go into one of the outcomes, and we saw a lot of the Square Enix cancellations. The Avengers is the latest game to be cancelled as a live service, and they've already cancelled the Chocobo GP. I don't remember the name of it, and they also cancelled Babylon's Fall. So, and people think as if Halo Infinite may have its live service cancelled, but the way I see it is that the worst case scenario that given the Microsoft position, what they may end up doing is that they may keep the Halo Infinite service running for years, but they would end up creating more cosmetics for it and may rarely offer a map out. Or they can just like stick to community app maps only, but also only rely on giving out cosmetics and get people to pay for it. Because what really keeps it alive are the donations from people who spend on the game. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but also you're paying for the battle passes as well, so that would be another form of income as well as the cosmetics, the battle passes. So that's something that they would try and hopefully keep doing as well. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It is. I think it's still probably makes enough money to keep going. I think there's a lot of live services that have a lot less backing. I feel like Halo is still popular, it's just not in the Call of Duty, Apex, Fortnite level. It's just a bit, which is a shame because I love Halo and I think it should be the most popular franchise again. I feel old, but I miss the good old days when Halo 3 was the be all and end all, and that's the only game everyone ever played online. But
actually, what it turns out that what it turns out is I recently learned from the Mint Blitz that people are doing this project known as Halo 3 Sunrise, which the mods are creating the server to get Halo 3 playing again, the Xbox 360 title. So you can actually play games on Halo 3 Xbox 360 again. So I don't know if it's simple as like connecting the server, but it definitely is active right now.
That would be good. I mean, obviously, Master Chief Collection is not the same thing, so that would be good, worth doing. I would totally be worth playing that. So we've discussed this quite a bit in the previous episode and in that previous spin-off. So should we move on to the Xbox Developer Direct? Because we've been...
One bit of news, actually, is that
go ahead.
At the moment, the FTC sued Microsoft to stop the EU accepting the settlement over the Activision deal, as it's claimed. So basically, there's more developments, and this involves the FTC getting lambasted once again.
Yeah, and also Xbox has sued Sony as well. I don't know if you've seen that news article. Xbox is suing Sony for and trying so they can get their point of view, so we can see why. So PlayStation have to prove that they are getting damaged by the lack of Call of Duty, and they have to provide files and stuff. So just find that funny. The PlayStation they've been running their mouth, talk shit, get shot in it. you get what you deserve when you're talking rubbish at PlayStation. So that's funny. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, I feel like we could talk about the Activision deal every week, and we usually do. But it's just like I'm kind of tired of it now. I kind of just want to see it get done. Either cancel it or get it done. That's all. I like. There's so many news articles about it on a weekly basis. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
You want to move on to the Direct now, do you?
Oh, we'd love to if we could. Yeah.
Let's do it.
So, what would you? So we have 5 games to discuss. Do you want to discuss them in the order they were shown, or do you want to just mix and match and just do whatever you fancy?
Just do it in order, actually.
Yeah. So obviously we had the developer direct yesterday, and it was a lot of fun. I think. So before we get into the individual games, what did you think of the presentation altogether? I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was. I like this style of direct. I hope they do this again in the future. What do you think?
It's very different to Nintendo Direct because often you have the developer giving off a presentation, and I was kind of thinking of this way. But what the Microsoft did with it is that it's a developer direct, meaning it kind of gives a cast into the developer studios and have a look there. So they don't really rely on the host. They just talk to individual developers and talking about how they get those things working. And then we'll be dribbled off topic on the React, but I think it's really great that they've been working and how they get those things working. So it's just really interesting to see how the games work. Plus, it also gives out gameplay footage as well, which what it does is just adds more depth to the other games. So So let's go through what we got.
Yeah. So first up was Minecraft Legends, I believe. I think that looks super dope. I'm really excited for it now. Third person action, but RTS style. I mean, you could do it co-op, and you could do this whole story in co-op. We got to play that in co-op. Me and you, we got to co-op that story. That's going to be so much fun. Build your own bases, build multiple walls, build a fortress, and make armies. I'm excited. It's so nerdy, but I love RTSs, and we were talking about Age of Empires earlier. A Minecraft RTS sounds like a lot of fun. So it's going to be more simplified, I imagine, but I'm sure it's still going to have a lot of fun with it. I mean, are you excited for it? Because I am. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, because of this latest trailer, it is far better. I thought this is going to be a RPG type of thing, but now it's just introduces more the real-time strategy elements, and it's got the construction going on. And I think this game looked far better when it was teased, and it's got lots of good things. There's plank golems, you can control hordes, so all of it is just really, really fantastic in my opinion.
I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
And it's coming out in April too. Yeah,
soon. Not long. We got soon, by the time we finish Hi-Fi Rush, they'll probably be out. It's the next exclusive on our list, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm excited for it. They showed the PvP in the direct, but obviously they've shown it's got a story mode as well, which is going to be really cool. Every level's different because the biomes change. That's proper Minecraft. That is. I love that. Minecraft is one of my favorite games of all time. I like RTSs. I'm totally down to try this. I think this will be a lot of fun. I'm hoping it's going to be good. And fingers crossed. I'm excited. Do you know who Blackbird Entertainment are? Because they're supposed to be working with it. I've never heard of them before. The direct.
Blackbird Direct. What?
Entertainment. Blackbird. They're the developers who are working on this game. Or we're working with Mojang, anyway.
Oh, is it the same ones who have been doing Minecraft Dungeons?
I'm not sure. I've never heard of them before the direct. I've heard, but it looks like a good game. Didn't want to throw you into deep end there, so yeah. So that's Minecraft. Let's move on to Forza, I guess.
Yes.
Biggest disappointment of the whole show was the fact that there's no release date for that. That's
really?
Such a bummer.
Oh,
We're waiting. Like they said, everything was coming out first half of the year. They said everything was coming out before June at the E3 last year. But we're in January now. We still don't have a release date for Forza. That makes me think it's not coming before June. I think that's going to be a late year game now. I think that's November, September,
that's really worrying. Actually,
bummer. It's just a bummer. Like if Forza, if Redfall and Starfield didn't get delayed, what did they have planned for this year? Like for the second half of the year? That's what I'm very concerned about now. Surely they should have other games lined up. Like, are we still going to get a Hellblade or an Avowed at the end of the year? I hope so. I'm hoping they're not just going to stretch this out for they're going to put Forza and Starfield at the end of the year now, and then that's going to be the whole year calendar filled out. I hope not.
This is a bit awkward anyway, but I think to me it's just like, it's pretty good. It's just like talks more about the development process, but to be honest, I don't think there's a lot of things that really caught our eye, but honestly it's just really great. But this is also a part of the reaction where we went off topic and talking about Ruby now moving to Crunchyroll and talking about budgeting, and look, there's Forza on the screen.
It's very pretty. It is the prettiest racing game of all time. That being said, it's just a racing game. We kind of know what to expect. It's not, I'm ready to play it. I'm looking forward to it. But you don't really. I'm already sold. You don't need to show me anymore. I get it. I get what the game is. It's a very pretty racing game, and like that's good. But you don't need to show me anymore. I'm sold already. So yeah. So then we move on to my personal highlight.
Yes.
Hi-Fi Rush. Woo!
Yes.
So I've been playing it a lot. I played a couple of hours of it last night before I went to bed. It's so much fun. I really like it. It's a good hack and slash. You gotta get the rhythm down and all that. I mentioned before the podcast I have a hot take. Are you ready for my hot take?
Do it.
This is my hot take. If you give me God of War Ragnarok or Hi-Fi Rush and ask me which one I want to play, I'm going to say Hi-Fi Rush. I think Hi-Fi Rush I prefer Hi-Fi Rush to God of War Ragnarok. I have both games, and it's not really a metaphorical question because I have both games. I am playing Hi-Fi Rush over God of War. The hack and slash, I prefer the rhythm to it. I like the sense of humor. I like the art style. I feel like I'm one of those people who likes comedy. Like if you see what my favorite MCU films are, they're Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy, when most people would say Civil War and Endgame, right? I like the stuff with a little bit of comedy in it. I feel like Hi-Fi Rush is like Futurama meets Scott Pilgrim meets Sunset Overdrive meets Jet Set Radio, but with a God of War gameplay and a little bit of rhythm to it as well. I mean, it's great. I'm really enjoying it, and I think personally, if you give me the choice, I'm going to pick Hi-Fi Rush over God of War, and that's my hot take. Boom, hot take. Mic drop.
And a potential game of the year. So
yeah. Also,
I would say this is more of a surprise hit, really.
The surprise hit, and I was going to say this is a hot take because I know I'm the only one who thinks this. I don't think anyone else is going to say they prefer this to God of War, but I do, so I don't care. It's my opinion. Hot take. Yes, clip that out. Let's see how many PlayStation ponies attack me now. It's going to be a lot. I'm going to get roasted, and I'm going to go, "You're an Xbox fanboy." It's like, no, I just like stuff with a sense of humor, and I like comedy over. I feel like God of War takes itself a bit too seriously at points, and I like a bit of comedy. To be honest, I like something that's a bit more light-hearted, and I like the art style. I think it's really pretty. Hi-Fi Rush is such a pretty game. It's like you can freeze it at any point, and it looks beautiful. It's like very cartoony and bright and vibrant. I love it. Yeah. Yes. The guy, it reminds me of like Futurama. I think like the main character, Chai, his name is. Yeah. He reminds me a lot of like Fry from Futurama. I think he has he's stupid, but he's lovable and like cool.
To me, I think the art style is really effective. Like
It's beautiful.
It's the cel shaded. They got the right look, and they could have like grained the animation, but they ended up creating something that is like really good. But I've yet the chance to play it and see if it like runs smoothly. But I know there's like games where they get this anime stuff right, but for this one, it takes on a more Archie comic books look, and it's something that actually like works so well for the game that involves like a lot of music and a lot of this cartoon action scene. So I just think this is just fantastic. I'd say art from the point of view of art, this is a quite achievement. But I don't know. It's just like knowing how they just sort of works. But as you said, you have been playing this game so much, it sounds as if it's easier to get to compared to Metal Hellsinger because this involves rhythm into action as well.
Yeah, you can also, if you have no rhythm whatsoever, you can turn off the rhythm stuff, or you can make it do auto rhythm, so it does it for you. So you don't. So there is ways around
options.
So there's lots of accessibility options. They've got color blindness. They got subtitles. They got actual large subtitles with backgrounds and stuff. There's a lot of little features in it. Considering this is made by a small team, it's extremely impressive. Already front runner for Game of the Year this year. I know we're in January. It's a bit of a thing. And I've only played the first 3-4 hours. Maybe it'll be terrible towards the end. But at the moment, I'm really enjoying it. I love it. Of course, I was going to say something and I've totally forgot now. It'll probably come back to me in a minute. But
is it the next one being Elder Scrolls Online?
Oh right, I had more about Hi-Fi Rush to say, but yeah, that's fine. We can talk about Elder Scrolls Online. Elder Scrolls Online, all the DLC is available to everyone. That's cool.
It is cool, actually.
The new character looks cool. I don't know what else to say. I haven't played it. If I lose my job or if I have a lot of spare time, I think this is a game I'll pick up. This is a game that you're going to have to invest like 100, 200, 300 hours into, I think. But it looks cool.
True.
It looks cool. I'm very impressed by it, and I'm jealous of people who were. I was saying this in the direct. It's like I get bored of playing the same type of game all the time. So it's like I would probably get bored if I played this for 400 hours. But I'm jealous of the people who can just play one MMO and that's like they're happy with that and they just play that one game constantly. I think that's cool. I'm kind of jealous in a way because I get bored too easily. I'm like, I'll play something else now.
Well, to me, cool about all the expansion packs going to Game Pass, but to me, I haven't even touched the game. I heard the game's got better over the years, and I think it's a choice to be an MMO, only it just turns into a fully fledged game that you can easily get into. But if you ask me that, I would rather play Elder Scrolls Skyrim or even Elder Scrolls 6 because I prefer those single-player experiences without having to worry about the expansions. But
I agree with that, yeah.
But also, this is only reserved for those who wants to go in the expansive world. Even though there's already loads of people who rather to play Genshin Impact or Final Fantasy 14. So there's a lot of a way to take for Elder Scrolls Online. And yet Microsoft is binging on it as if it's a serious product.
Yeah. No, I'm not fussed on it. I prefer to play Skyrim, to be honest. But when are we getting another Elder Scrolls game? I mean, if you've maxed Skyrim, haven't you? So it's like if you want to play something new, this is the only real option you have at the moment, which is unfortunate. Until we get Avowed, maybe we get Avowed at the end of the year. That's going to fill the Skyrim Elder Scrolls kind of void for us. Maybe I don't know. Let us know in the comments below if you're an Elder Scrolls Online player. I would love to speak to someone who actually plays this game. I would love to people be a bit knowledgeable about it. Explain to me why it's so good because I want to play it, but I also want to play it when I know I've got hundreds of hours to dedicate to it. If I'm on a staycation where I'm off work for 3-4 weeks and I know I can just play it non-stop. That's probably when I would play it. when I know I can only play like 2 hours a night, I'm not gonna really dedicate myself to something like that personally. But I get the hype. I think it looks cool. I'm really excited for everyone who wants to play that game for sure. So we moving on to the final thing, the finale,
Yep.
the Redfall.
Yes.
Ooh, Redfall looks good. I'm so excited. I can't wait for Redfall. It looks so good. I just want an open world arcade game. I'm sold. I'm already sold. I'm trying to figure out who I want to be. I think I might be the guy who has like the staff. I was saying this in the video where you just stick the staff in the floor and he goes, "You shall not pass," and they kill all the vampires with that. I think that's rad. But then the sniper guy's cool. He has like a crow. You can have like a ghost crow that goes around killing things, and you can go invisible. So that guy's cool. The girl with the purple umbrella that reflects bullets, and also there's an elevator so you can make people fly. That's dope. And then the other girl has a robot, and the robots are cool. So I mean, I don't know who are you gonna be, because I can't decide. I think all 4 characters look rad.
Yeah, I personally feel that too. And I was thinking of a psychic type user, but I was looking at an engineer too. So I'm thinking of that as well. But who knows? I think this is something that is likely to be like catches your eye. So yeah, but I think
it reminds me of like a Borderlands or like a Destiny kind of game, like almost like a live service. But
yes,
like you're gonna have bosses and stuff that you can I forgot what they called them now. Vampire gods, I think they called them, which essentially looks like almost like a raid kind of like level boss. Like that sounds great.
Yes,
I'm excited for it. Yes,
I think it's just like, yeah, you did the Borderlands 2 as mentioned in the React, which is like you do let's play, and it's just like that's cool. So we might actually do a let's play of it if it actually works out great.
Yeah.
However,
I said if we hit 50 subscribers, we'll do a let's play of Redfall. 50 subscribers by May. I think that's doable.
yeah.
But
anyway, it may not be as exciting as what other people thought, because there's a poll run by Assassinator Entertainment that they asked a question on, are you planning to play Redfall when it releases in May? And the results are 25% for yes, 41% for no, with 34% saying unsure.
I'm going to play it. It looks fun. I think it looks fun.
Yeah, I think we should check it out. But who knows? It could be another upset. But then at the same time, it's just like, it's only just a small sample weight of like 95 votes. So I don't know.
It's arcade for you. That's the thing with arcade. They said it themselves. All their games are like critically acclaimed. Everyone loves them, like the reviewers and stuff. But they never sell well. They never get loads of people playing them. Like Dishonored, Deathloop was popular, but Dishonored, Prey, loads of like the games they make. A lot of them they like get really good review scores, and everyone recommends you play them, but no one ever buys them. So I think that it might be the same thing here with Redfall. I think it's probably going to get good reviews. And I think it looks promising, but I think a lot of people are just going to skip out on it for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe they're not fans of vampires. I think it looks cool.
I mean, you saw what really happened to Twilight, though.
Imagine if this was like Twilight, and you had to romance the vampires instead, and they're like all shiny and stuff. That would be a totally different game.
Just shotgun them in the head, so...
Yeah, especially if they like Edward Cullen in it. I forgot his name now. What's the name of the actor?
Patterson. He plays a very good Batman.
Yeah. Would you romance? Let us know in the comments below. Would you romance Robert Pattinson?
Still,
yeah. I think I was going to mention something. So there's 5 games this show there, which is dope. So we got those 5 games, awesome. Then we got Starfield, so that's 6. Then we got Age of Empires 2, Age of Empires 4, Ghostwire Tokyo, So that's 9 games that are like exclusive. Even though Ghost Rider 2K was already on PlayStation, but 9 like first party games coming out this year, which is dope. And then we might have Benedict Fox, the detective game they showed. They might have Cocoon, which is made by the people who made Limbo. This is we might get like loads of games coming out this year. So there's about 9 games so far, 9-10 games, the first party games being revealed for this year. I mean, that we should be excited. This might be the biggest year in Xbox history. I personally think.
Well, I would definitely ask my opinions about the developer direct. That I was kind of expecting Starfield to be mentioned, but it turns out, as you told me in doing the reaction, that it will come out as a separate thing. So we have to keep our eyes out for that. But it doesn't mention Halo Infinite and about Season 3.
No.
But then we don't need it anyway because we already learned enough about Season 3. We just wanted to release in March. So that's what we're hoping for. But I think
a good point. That's a good point as well. I forgot to mention as well, that's a good point that we also have Season 3 of Halo. We have the DLC for Forza Horizon 5. There's a couple of like expansions and stuff that we get as well this year. So there's loads for Xbox gamers. There's a lot to play, a lot to play this year. Going from last year where there was nothing, and this year we're going to be overwhelmed. I think this is the biggest year in Xbox history. I think personally, if everything hits. If Starfield gets delayed to like 2024 now, I'm going to be really annoyed.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially because it's my number 1 in my fantasy draft as well. Like, come on. Priority.
Oh, speaking of which, we should also talk about the Fantasy Critic because we almost went for the show without actually talking about it. So,
yeah, I mean, we saw very much of an update for this week. I got points for Fire Emblem. The PlayStation team lost points for Spoken. Oh well, unlucky. I got points for Forspoken because I counterpicked it, and then you got points for Persona 4. And what was the other game you got points for?
Well, at the moment,
Monster Hunter.
Now, right now, I currently in the lead with 36 points. You also came with like 14 points, and PS3 Trust is 1.16 points. And that's because Forspoken has been given 68, which is minus 1.2, but was going to be updated soon, and they could earn more points because Dead Space Remake is now getting high scores, which means we could see this as another huge game that could put PS3 Trust in. And they've already added a bunch of games, and that includes Stellar Blade and Last of Us Part 1 on the PC.
So it's going to be interesting league. It's not over by any stretch. We've only just started. They're in 3rd place, but they could definitely catch up. Definitely, I tried to get Hi-Fi Rush, but apparently I couldn't get it because it's already.
Yeah, you're trying to stealth add it, you cheeky. Anyway, Season A Letter to the Future is 79.4, which means it could get points for Sunny Pony there. So, yeah.
There you go.
But which means at the moment that you only got like 13 actually for Fire Emblem Engage and 1.42 for like Forspoken. But according to my list, remain static, not a lot of games because I'm trying to save space for E3. And the ones that have been released before got Persona 4 Golden on the Switch and Monster Hunter Rise on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, which has already got a huge boost, which gave me a huge advantage. I tried to do bids, already got Hollow Knight and Pikmin 4 with some high bids, and it's already been updated. And I literally didn't know how to play the game properly, which is why I wasted my budget on it. But I did put $2 on Octopath Traveler 2 and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. But I was going to counterbid on Metro Prime 4, and I was hoping to do that. But turns out I've already did a counterbid for Hogwarts Legacy. So, gosh, this is annoying. I just couldn't get it updated. I thought, is it coming through? Never mind. I just really hope that Hogwarts Legacy would actually bomb. So, I know. People are like angry now because they are looking forward to Hogwarts Legacy. So, are you looking forward to it too?
No, honestly, I'm not. If people want to play it, that's fine. I'm not going to judge people for wanting to play it, but it looks mid to me. It doesn't look great. I honestly think it doesn't look. I'm not impressed by it at all. It gives me I have the same feeling I had with Forspoken. I had a feeling that game wasn't going to be very good before it came out, and then it turned out I was right. I don't think it's going to be very good. Honestly, I feel like I don't trust the developers. The previews, people say it looks good, but I might be wrong. It might be like a 10 out of 10 masterpiece.
Oh, please
from what I've seen, because
I made a counter-bid against it.
I don't think it looks very good personally. I don't know. My gut instinct is it's just going to be a very average game. It gives me very much Forspoken Saints Row kind of feel to it, in my personal opinion.
Well,
something in my gut. Just something my gut thinks that I might be 100% wrong. It might be a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. It might be the next God of War Ragnarok.
I think we kind of forgotten about Saints Row because it's supposed to be an exciting revamp. It's just like, never mind. Not that
you got like 6 out of 10, I think. It was terrible, apparently.
And Forspoken has already got like below 70 on Metacritic. Yep. And I know I found out the developers of it used to work on like Final Fantasy 15, I think. I mean, that's kind of cool, but then it has problems like the writing, some weird stuff going on. And recently it's got like bad DRM, which means apparently someone that if you get it on PC's got like ridiculous requirements on there, which requires like 150 gigabytes on even like SSDs or even NVMe, and is suggesting that this game isn't optimized well. Also has this DRM that if you install it on the PC, it will still listen out for what you do outside of the game, which also uses up performance. And this is the same kind of DRM that's been implemented for Hogwarts Legacy. So therefore, if Hogwarts Legacy doesn't go well, then that would be great. But then you're still going to end up having people who likes to still play the game anyway because of a Harry Potter universe. But we don't want to speak too much about it because we do not really want to promote J.K. Rowling too much by mentioning or about Hogwarts Legacy. We hate it or we look forward to it. It just means we're just like adding more of that reputation of that author's universe.
So, I mean, what the thing is with that is that if we go, we don't want to buy it because we don't like it, then you'll get people who are going, oh, counterculture, wokeness, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll be like, I'm going to buy it to be just to be spiteful, essentially. Buy it. If you want to buy it. I personally don't really respect the universe. But I'm not buying it because I think the game looks like average and I don't think it's going to be very good. That's my personal opinion. And I feel like you should just, do what you do. You do you. You do you.
I play bad cop to this, that I would rather not encourage people to like get Hogwarts Legacy. And I think it's important that we don't really want to promote the game too much. But if you're excited to play the game, then spoil yourself. I don't mind. But I just think that if you're pretty much aiming and aiming whether you would spend money on Hogwarts Legacy, then it's probably best you just don't buy it straight away. So, or don't even pre-order the game. So you just have to wait.
No matter how even with games that are like even if this game wasn't controversial and didn't have the J.K. Rowling stuff with it, I always say wait to see reviews before you buy any or pre-order anything anyway. Even if this game wasn't controversial, I would say wait until you see the reviews, because it might be a piece of crap. It might not run very well. It might be Forspoken. It might just not run very well. It might be poorly optimized. It might be badly written, And that was also what I was going to mention about Hi-Fi Rush earlier. The character's quite quippy, and he comes off with funny quips. But it actually works in Hi-Fi Rush, whereas in Forspoken, she says stuff like, "Whoa, I'm talking to cuffs. Whoa, I'm magic. Whoa," and it's like, "Shut up!" It's like, whereas Hi-Fi Rush, it works and it's funny, and it's like, it's well written, unlike Forspoken. But
I'm definitely looking forward to that, actually. So I'm trying to find time to play this. I'm going to make pancakes for tea tonight because I need to use up my eggs. And once I sort everything out, I will play Hi-Fi Rush.
You've got eggs. Are you rich? Like, how can you afford eggs? What's going on?
What, you think I bought quilt eggs? Eggs are like running out of the supermarket. It's not like they raise prices of them.
You've got eggs. You're blowing my mind. I'll trade you my PS5 for a couple of eggs because it's about the same. We get the same amount of money for it.
Oh, come on! It's not like eggs are that really rare, and also they didn't even raise so much prices for it. They're just people are scared about bird flu. That's what it is. It could be something else. I don't know. Ugh. Yeah.
Whatever. We've lived through COVID. Bird flu's the least of my worries at the moment. We've been there, done that. Got the t-shirt. Whatever.
Make a egg sandwich. No. Look, I'm eating all your eggs.
So I think that's it for this week's episode of Xbox Unboxed. We were kind of a bit all over the place this week, but I enjoyed it. It was a fun episode.
We were hoping for that hour, and then we ended up with something that's almost 1 hour and 20 minutes.
I hope you guys enjoyed the extra 20 minutes of content. We rambled a bit, but I think we enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching this. I enjoyed talking. If you enjoyed the episode, if you enjoyed the show, please subscribe. We're still a really small channel. We're trying to get out there. We're trying to grow. We're like the minnows of the Xbox podcast scene. There's so many big Xbox podcasts, and we don't get any notice. So if you enjoyed it, please share it. Please subscribe. We want to grow. We want this channel to get bigger. We put a lot of time and effort into this, and we're hoping you enjoy our show.
And if Lewis is too loud in this, please do not be afraid to let us know in the comments below.
I'll shut up for the next episode. I'm fine from it.
Well, probably just me talking, and then I might invite my trans friends over and just talking about games. We may end up talking about PC and just saying it's not that important with Xbox. But anyway, here's what's we're being playing on the PC.
It'd just become a Ruby podcast if I was gone.
No. Don't take it as if I'm a stan of Ruby, because I'm not interested in it. Also, it's just now you had to subscribe to Crunchyroll. You had to pay for Crunchyroll in order to see Ruby Volume 9. That's coming out in February. But I'm no, I don't want to get Crunchyroll. I know it gives me a lot of anime, but if they can fix a user interface, yeah, maybe I consider it. But I'm not signing up specially to watch Volume 9. Ugh. Yeah.
Fire Emblem engages all the anime I need at the moment. It's
much better than Ruby, actually. So go play that. Or if you already got Crunchyroll,
or Persona,
I don't blame you. So watch Chainsaw Man. That would be much better.
If you have Game Pass, play Persona. I would say play Persona 5, but 3 and 4 is on there as well if you've played Persona 5 already.
So too bad that Ruby Hourfell's not on it. So, but it does come with the Blaze Brew tag battle that's got a little bit of Ruby, but you end up loving the other characters in it too. So
there's a JoJo game coming out soon as well on Game Pass, just FYI as well, for people who love their Japanese anime.
Oh my god!
It's just like one of my Japanese animes.
Someone's going to make this into a short soon.
I hope so. I love that. Anyway, we've gone off tangent again. We're going to end the episode there. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. And so comment, like, subscribe, and go watch Alice's Game of the Year video because it was really well done, really entertaining. I really think it's a nice video. And then watch mine afterwards, and then just keep watching stuff on the channel. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We do appreciate it. And until next time, be sweet.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at X Marks Box on Twitter or X Marks the Box on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.